You are talking, responding, nodding, smiling, yet feeling absolutely nothing inside. The words reach your ears, but they never quite land anywhere meaningful within you. You answer politely, at the right moments, with the right tone, like you always do. From the outside, everything looks normal, even friendly, even socially competent. Inside, there is no connection, no warmth, no irritation, just a quiet, emotional blankness. You are not bored in an obvious way, and you are not anxious either. You are simply not there. Small talk passes through you like background noise you cannot emotionally register. Weather, work updates, casual jokes, weekend plans, none of it touches anything real. You might even wonder if something is wrong with you for feeling this way. Other people seem energized, relaxed, or comforted by these simple conversations. You leave them feeling unchanged, unmoved, sometimes even more tired than before. You are not struggling to speak or understand what is being said. You are struggling to feel anything while it is happening. This experience is far more common than people are willing to admit openly. Yet it is often misunderstood as coldness, social awkwardness, or emotional distance. But feeling nothing during small talk is not a personality flaw. It is a clue. And understanding that clue can change how you see yourself entirely. 1. Small talk feels empty because it stays on the surface. Small talk is built to feel safe, predictable, and emotionally effortless for everyone involved. It usually revolves around weather, work, plans, and topics requiring no personal exposure. Nothing deeply meaningful is asked, and nothing meaningful is truly expected in return. For many people, this kind of exchange feels relaxing and socially reassuring. For others, it feels empty, like engaging politely without actually forming a real connection. Your mind listens carefully, but finds nothing worth attaching genuine emotion to. There is no curiosity triggered and no inner response invited to come forward. So you reply politely, following familiar social scripts almost entirely on autopilot. The conversation continues moving forward, but nothing moves emotionally inside you. This reaction is not boredom, arrogance, or a lack of social ability. It is your brain waiting for meaning before it allows emotion to activate. When meaning never appears, emotional engagement simply stays offline. What you experience is not dislike toward people, but a quiet emotional absence. And that absence slowly drains you more than silence ever could. 2. You are listening politely, not emotionally. You know how to respond correctly, using the right tone, timing, and socially acceptable expressions. Your reactions are appropriate, practiced, and smooth enough that no one notices anything missing. But inside, you are not emotionally present in the exchange itself. You are listening with manners, not with curiosity or genuine emotional involvement. This creates a subtle split between what you show and what you actually feel. Your face participates, your voice responds, but your inner world stays neutral and quiet. It feels like performing a familiar routine rather than sharing a real moment. You are not anxious, guarded, or uncomfortable in any obvious way. You are simply not engaged at a level that creates emotional resonance. The conversation does not upset you, but it does not nourish you either. So, you conserve energy by staying polite instead of fully present. This is not manipulation or dishonesty. It is an efficient social adaptation. You give just enough to keep the interaction flowing without draining yourself completely. Over time, this pattern can make conversations feel strangely tiring and unrewarding. Not because they are difficult, but because they require presence without offering meaning. 3. Depth-oriented minds struggle with shallow exchange. Some people need emotional or intellectual depth before they feel genuinely connected. Their nervous system does not respond strongly to surface-level information or predictable scripts. This does not make them superior, complicated, or difficult to be around. It simply means their internal engagement system is tuned differently from the majority. Small talk provides data, but not enough signal to activate emotional interest. Without meaning, curiosity does not turn on, and attention quietly disengages. You might notice you come alive in conversations about ideas, values, or experiences. When someone shares something real, your energy and presence return immediately. This contrast can make small talk feel especially empty by comparison, not because it is wrong, but because it operates on a different emotional frequency. Depth-oriented minds are not searching for intensity in every interaction. They are searching for authenticity, even in small doses. When that authenticity is absent, emotional flatness naturally follows. This is not a flaw that needs fixing or overcoming. It is a preference in how your mind connects with others. 4. Emotional detachment can be a learned form of protection. For some people, emotional distance did not begin as a preference. It began as a response to social exhaustion, overwhelm, or repeated emotional demands. Over time, the body learns that staying neutral costs less energy than engaging deeply. Small talk becomes a place where this protective habit shows up clearly. You participate enough to appear present, but not enough to feel exposed. This is especially common if you spent years managing others' emotions or expectations. Your system learned that staying emotionally quiet was safer and more efficient. So, numbness during casual conversation is not indifference. It is conservation. Your nervous system is choosing low engagement to avoid unnecessary depletion. This does not mean you cannot feel. It means you are selective about where you spend emotional energy. When a conversation feels shallow or obligatory, your system disengages automatically. Not because you do not care about people, but because you care enough to protect yourself. 5. You feel more alive in meaningful or one-on-one conversations. When a conversation becomes personal, reflective, or honest, something inside you wakes up. Your attention sharpens, your responses feel natural, and your energy returns almost immediately. You stop searching for the right thing to say and start actually listening. Time feels different because you are emotionally present, not just socially performing. This contrast reveals something important about your emotional capacity. You are not numb or disconnected in general. You are selective. Your system responds to meaning, sincerity, and real human exchange. In one-on-one settings, there is less noise and more space for authenticity. You feel safer expressing thoughts without managing multiple social dynamics at once. Emotion flows when the environment allows depth instead of speed. This is why meaningful conversations feel restorative rather than draining. They ask more from you, but they also give something back. Small talk takes energy without offering emotional return. Depth gives energy because it creates genuine connection. 6. The problem is mismatch, not a lack of social ability. You are not bad at conversation, awkward, or incapable of connecting with other people. You function well when the interaction matches how your mind naturally processes meaning. Small talk demands speed, lightness, and constant responsiveness without emotional grounding. Your system prefers depth, pauses, and signals that something real is being exchanged. When those signals are missing, engagement drops automatically, not intentionally. This feels like failure only because society treats one communication style as universal. But communication is not one size fits all, even when it looks simple on the surface. You are not missing a skill that everyone else has mastered effortlessly. You are operating on a different frequency than the environment is offering. Like trying to enjoy music through static, the issue is not your hearing. It is the channel being used. When the setting changes, your ability to connect returns without effort. This is how you know nothing is broken inside you. There is only a mismatch between how you connect and what is being asked. And mismatches feel draining when you keep blaming yourself for them. 7. Why this makes you feel guilty or abnormal. Small talk is treated as a basic social requirement in most everyday environments. When you do not enjoy it, you may start questioning what is wrong with you. You notice others laughing easily, chatting effortlessly, and seeming emotionally engaged. Meanwhile, you feel flat, detached, or simply waiting for the conversation to end. This contrast can quietly create a sense of social inadequacy or self-doubt. You might wonder if you are cold, antisocial, or emotionally underdeveloped. Over time, this belief can make you withdraw or overcompensate unnecessarily. You may force yourself to engage more than feels natural, leaving you exhausted afterward. The guilt comes from comparing your internal experience to an external expectation. But the expectation itself is not neutral or universal. It rewards a specific communication style while ignoring others. Feeling different does not mean you are defective. It means the social standard does not reflect everyone's emotional reality. Once you recognize this, Self-blame begins to loosen its grip, and your experience starts to make sense without needing correction. Not every conversation is meant to make you feel something deep or emotionally alive. Feeling nothing during small talk does not mean you are disconnected from people. It often means you are connected to meaning, not performance. You respond when something real is present, not when noise fills the space. There is nothing wrong with needing depth to feel engaged. There is nothing broken about preferring authenticity over routine exchange. You are not cold, distant, or socially flawed for feeling this way. You are simply selective about where your emotional energy goes. Small talk may pass through you without leaving a mark, but when the right conversation appears, you show up fully and naturally. You feel present, alive, and connected without forcing anything. That contrast tells you everything you need to know. You are not empty. You are waiting for something real.